Okay. What's going on, Silver Site? My name is RJ,
I'm Desiree.
I'm Gerald.
and today we're going to be reviewing, breaking down season 2, episode 1, Future Days of the hit show Last of Us, which is based off the video game with the same name. We've been waiting like 2 years for this.
It's been a minute.
Oh,
It's been a minute.
Yeah, it's been a minute, 2 years. To be honest, I forgot a lot of stuff that happened in season 1. I didn't have time to go back and fully watch season 1, but I played the game several times, so I'm cool. I kind of know what happens. Yes, Shayna finally made it on time. How you doing? How you doing, Shayna?
What up, Shannon?
hey,
Yeah.
Shayna.
Yeah, we were.
I mean,
I mean,
technical difficulties. Yeah, it was a time. I don't have no insurance. Well, I have insurance, but I'm weaning off for a little while, so it's one of them days, man.
I think you're on time when you're the one to press start. So
Yeah.
there's that. Sorry, Shane. I don't mean to
Yeah.
throw shade, but
So I'll start by saying this. Have you guys played the games before? Are you guys familiar with Last of Us? Hey, what's up, T Wade?
very familiar. I was retired from video games by the time this came out, so I'm kind of watching the sidelines. I've watched some different play-alongs, playthroughs, and stuff like that online. But I mean, it was exciting still watching it because I don't know that my patience would have been good with that. So
yeah, my answer is the same as Gerald. I would mostly watch Jay play the game, but that was about it.
Okay. So yeah, I've played both the games several times, but like I said, I haven't played the original Last of Us in years, and I didn't watch season 1. But I am familiar with the storyline and what happens. But we do know that it's not going to be a shot for shot thing. So it's
I'm in trouble already. I'm
Yeah, yeah.
Dr. J is behind the scenes running comments tonight. So she's here, but Gerald won't be able to get on her because she's behind the scenes tonight. So yeah, what y'all think of the first episode of the new season?
I honestly, I thought it was just okay. I thought it was kind of dull for the first episode. I hope it picks up, but we'll see. But that's my thoughts.
Yeah.
So I felt the slowness, but I kind of have a theory that I feel like since everybody kind of has an idea or knows what's going to happen, everybody's already bracing themselves. So I think instead of making everything hot and heavy, they were creating this idea to kind of show you what, Joel and Ellie's like, what their relationship is like. And I think they were doing more of that, a little bit more world building for, them finally being where they're in Wyoming. So I think since that's where we were left off, I think they were trying to kind of show us that a little bit more and show how she's matured,
Yeah.
And so one thing I do like about the way they're doing this is because in the game, there's a time jump where Ellie's like grown.
Yeah.
She's a completely grown woman in the second Last of Us. And so what they do in the game is they kind of flash back to what we're seeing now. So you play maybe 25% of the game with her as a grown woman, and then you go back to another like 10 to 15% where she's this age now. And so I think it was very smart of them because Bella, I think it wasn't her name, Bella? Anna? The girl, what's her name?
Which one?
What?
Are you talking about Ellie or the love interest?
Ellie. What's Ellie's real name? I can't remember her name off the top of my head. What's it called?
Oh, yeah, it's Bella. It's Bella.
Yeah. So
Bella Ramsey.
Bella Ramsey, yeah. So I think it was smart that they played it this way because they can kind of gradually let her grow into the grown woman role of Ellie. I'm not sure how old she is in real life, but she's not the same age as she doesn't appear to be the same age as the Ellie in the game. And so what we're seeing is the chronological, a series of events. Yeah, Bella. Is she? I don't know.
I don't know if her character. I don't know if the character is a they. Personally, maybe. I don't know, but I guess it's safe. We can do they.
Yeah, let's see.
I haven't heard much of that. Yeah, outside of just the story of
that, Shayna.
She is. They are.
They are
Okay.
okay.
They are Bella. So our apologies. Thank you.
Our apologies.
We want to be politically correct on the show. We want to respect everybody's pronouns and who they tell you are. They are. So Bella, they are not the same age. So I think it's a very smart play that they made sure that they captured them at the right age, that they are chronologically. So I really enjoyed that aspect of it. I know people don't like it. Even Abby's character, there was complaints about her not being as jacked because in the game, like when we do that time jump, she's ripped. Like the death of her father causes her to go on this arc of like just lifting, and so she's appears to be smaller because she's younger as well. So, but I think that they're playing it smart. So I guess let's just get into. So the episode opens up with Abby and the remaining Fireflies by her father's grave, and we learn that Joel basically kills everyone, like no mercy, no one left to tell the story but these 5 people. And they hint that Joel ran off with Ellie, who's rumored to be immune. So, how do you guys think it was a smart move for Joel to kill everybody, to leave them standing, or like what do you think of that whole situation with them?
Well, I mean, if you think about it, like it would to me it would make sense for him, because in his eyes they're gonna keep coming after him anyway. Every faction of everybody who's branched off, or not even branched off, but all these people who have all these different factions, they're out for self-preservation. So with him basically saying, well, remember, he was like, look, what do you mean she's got to die for y'all to see if y'all can come up with a cure? There was no guarantee that her death was gonna even equate a cure. So he was like, I don't need to leave anybody standing. I've got to go ahead and take everybody out, and keep moving.
Yeah, I agree. Being in that mind frame too, and he really cares for her. I think he kind of didn't have a choice in a way that, if he did leave 1 or 2 alive, they could come for him, I guess. So unfortunately, yeah, you do have to take them all out.
I feel bad because there's 2 sides to every story. And what Joel did for Ellie in that moment at the end of season 1, in that moment, he thought it was the right thing. Personally, I feel like I would have done the same thing because there is no cure for this. I don't know what they thought they were, what magical science they had come up with before. Because there was even a part in, wait, am I spoiling? Hold on. Okay, never mind. I'm not going to say that. Yeah, there's no cure for this shit. This is it. How they're living now is how they're going to live for the remainder until all the infected die off. And but I feel like I would have done the same thing Joel did. To be honest with you, I would have killed the doctor and taken Ellie. But we also don't realize the consequences that our actions have on the people on the other side of that.
True. Yeah. Which is why we have the Fireflies coming after.
Yeah. So, and there was a scene where Ellie, and I want to talk about this too. There was a scene where Ellie asked Joel to tell her the truth, and I want to say he said something along the lines of, "I saved her," something like that. So,
he had an interesting pause. There was an interesting pause he threw in there, and she waited because honestly, I don't think she believes him.
Yeah.
Honestly, I really don't think she believes him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think she's justified in feeling mad at Joel or treating him the way she does?
Yes, because she doesn't really know. Like, she feels like, look, bro, I'm like, she's growing into her, as a character, she's growing into her own. So she's worried about like what it looks like. Like she feels like she can take care of herself, as she's, kind of figuring out things. And I think what's happening is Joel is being overprotective of her, and not giving her any choice in any matter,
Yeah. I think a lot can be said for the way he's acting because of, he lost a daughter.
Correct. Yeah.
And now he feels like he's gained another one And
Mm.
I don't know if his daughter, actually, in fact, I don't think his daughter has ever made it to Ellie's age, right?
Just
No.
well, not from where she is now. No.
Not from
No.
it. Okay,
Yeah,
yeah.
'cause I think
Actually,
she was a teen, but she was just like right at like.
yeah, so it could be new territory for him too,
Yeah.
you know.
Well, he made a really deep, interesting point because he said he was about to say daughter, then he said, well, whatever we are, you
Yeah,
know,
he did
and
say
he had made that statement. So it kind of like he's still trying to he's trying to kind of figure out
Yeah.
how to like navigate their relationship
Yeah.
for where
Yeah.
she is now, you know. Because I think they basically just ended. I mean, they started this season 2 right at the end of where season 1 ended. So
Yeah. Mhm.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
And then you make a good point because even when he was in therapy, well, when we was talking to Dina, he really, this is something that's just uncharted territory for the both of them. She's never had parents either, and so he even mentioned like, well, she's 19, she's at that age where she's gonna hate her parents. And I can only speak for myself. I don't know if I went through that at 19. I feel like maybe 13, 14. Yeah, I went through that. But I feel like, I don't know. I feel like that's kind of a cop out for Joel. Um,
Yeah.
because yeah, I feel like that was a cop out because I
He's
don't
avoiding
remember hating.
accountability. Yeah.
Yeah,
He's avoiding accountability. Unfortunately, we see that with a lot of parents as justification for just kind of, well, they're just, in their little, it's like, no, what did you do?
yeah,
I do love in that therapy session how we saw a bit of vulnerability.
yeah,
Joel, but then he hardened right back up physically. Pedro
yeah,
Pascal really played that well.
yeah.
I
He
think
did
the
a lot of
therapist kind of forced that though, because when she started acting the way because he said, "Oh, this is not your first drink,"
that.
because she
Yeah.
poured that glass and he looked at that bottle. He kind of could hear her tone. He said, "Oh, yes, this is not your first drink. Yeah, you in here being confrontational now." So
Realest thing ever.
yeah, so he had to kind of put his walls back up because he had to kind of catch himself. Like, do I really need to feel sympathy? Because I know just from what I researched, I guess they changed what happened in the game and what actually went and what they did in this one.
Yeah,
Because the husband actually died a different way
yeah.
in the
From what I
game.
remember, yeah.
Okay.
Also, sorry, before I forget, we are doing a giveaway tonight. Should have led with that. We are giving away a AMC gift card as well, a AMC or Regal gift card or whatever theater you're near of your choosing. And we're giving away a Lion King popcorn bucket. When the code word flashes across the screen, you will have several chances tonight to remember the code word tonight. And towards the end of the show, we are going to be choosing a winner to send that information, to send the gifts to. So make sure you pay attention to the lines on the bottom, because we will be giving away a gift card and some prizes tonight. So,
Yay. Aaron, Pierre. I'm just playing.
yeah, we're trying here, little things to get people involved and trying to get
We
back
are.
to our glory. But yeah. Oh, another thing I wanted to no, it just left my brain.
Oh,
It left my brain.
oh, dang. It'll come back.
It'll come back. It'll come
Yeah.
back. Yeah. So I want to talk about the stalker creature, which is a newer type of infected. Now, I told y'all when I played the game, y'all know I'm a scaredy cat. I'm scared of everything.
Yeah.
So, like the runners scare me, the clickers, make me uneasy. The clickers make me uneasy, but the stalkers terrify me, and they terrify me more so because when you are playing as Ellie and Joel, you're hunting down these things and kind of strategically trying to take them down. Whereas with the stalker, it's the complete reverse. You don't even know they're there half the time until it's too late, as we saw with Ellie.
Mhm.
Thank you, Shayna. We trying.
Oh, yeah. We're
Baby steps, baby channel, baby steps.
exactly.
Yeah, but the stalkers for me, those are probably the most terrifying thing in this entire world because you don't know when they're coming after you.
Yeah. Yeah. I've seen those in the game actually, and no, thank you. No, thank you. I walk right out of the dang room when Jay's playing. I'm like, nope, it's okay. Like the clickers were one thing, but
So So RJ, did you have the lights up, man?
Absolutely. Lights on. Like, I have my book, my blanket. Like I have my
So
pillow. Yeah.
it's so funny because I actually went ahead. I watched it Sunday, and so I was watching, and I was at my computer. So I had my iPad, and I was like, do I want to watch on my iPad, or do I want to, So I pulled up on the computer, and I thought about you because I said, I bet because the silence was so deafening.
Mm.
Watching her walk and then the stalker, because I don't know if I caught it immediately. I don't know how. When she was doing something, I looked in that corner and I said, wait a minute, that's somebody back there. And then I saw it move. I was like, oh Lord, she can't hear it. As soon as I saw that, I was like, oh, these mugs, this is a whole different thing right here.
Right. It was definitely menacing from like being in the background, but I think as we got closer to it and got like an actual close up of the stalker, it was a little bit less scary for me.
Yeah.
Well,
Well, because it's like, so if you compare the game,
mhm.
like I said, not playing the game, but first person games and things like that, I can see a difference. But think about how they shot that. When she would move, she's right there in front of the camera, and then
Mhm.
right as she moves, then you see it in the
Yeah.
background. And I
Yeah.
was like, that is crazy. This thing is like basically like mirroring her, but not only can she not hear, she's not even looking, not even
Yeah.
like panning her head around,
Yeah.
because something that happened earlier. I don't know if you right before when she first saw it, and she said like chase me or come at me,
Oh
and
yeah.
it
Yeah.
didn't move, and it just stood there looking at her. And I was like, oh, these mugs aren't like the one. Because remember, she threw
Yeah.
the bottle earlier, the other one charged at her.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
she was able to kind of maneuver and do something different. So man, oh yeah,
He's like, wait
oh
a minute,
yeah,
this thing is mirroring her.
yeah. I
Not
was
for
like,
real. Like, you got to keep your head in the swivel. And what I noticed about the games too, they fall through the floor a lot. Like it's almost hilarious. Like
well, but
you can
you got to
take
remember, they're showing how stuff is deteriorating
yeah,
and all
that
that stuff.
that makes sense. Yeah,
I ain't gonna
but
lie
it should
though, it
be
was. So if you go back and look though, when she landed, I don't know if y'all realize it was two big sharp beams like crossed
yeah.
right onto her. And I was thinking, how did she not hit any of that? None of it.
Listen, as much as
Because
they
the girl was
fall in
like, "Are
that
you
game,
okay?"
I'm
Right.
surprised they haven't died from being impaled at this point. As amount of times they fall through something and with sharp things, like it's a constant thing with them.
Yeah.
Um, but yes, Shayna, to me, the stalkers are scarier than the bloaters. I'd rather see what's coming at me and just be minding my business and then like get tackled. Because you see, if Ellie was not immune, she
Mhm.
Oh,
was
she
gone.
was done. She was done
She
for.
was goner.
Mhm.
Yep. Mm-mm-mm.
Like they went in there mad confident, super confident.
Yeah, she's a little bit cavalier in her approach, just like with the fight at the beginning. She's cavalier. She's kind of got that invincibility, thing going where she's like, man, they're trying to kind of temper it a little bit, but to realize you almost like met your match in a sense, because
Yeah,
now they're actually thinking, they're actually
Mhm.
strategizing.
yeah,
So imagine people that don't have um the will to go fight. We talked about, like,
yeah,
if you're not gonna be bothered, you're done.
yeah,
Yep.
yeah. One thing I find like kind of annoying about Ellie sometimes, and I don't remember her being like this in the game, so I think this is a characterization that they put in TV show.
Of course.
She's super defiant. Like when
Mhm.
they tell you not to tell about your immunization or whatever, immunization
Immunity.
that's a vaccine.
Immunity.
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 God, I need an insure. They told her not to yell about her immunity. She's screaming into the mountaintops like, bro, you don't know, you have no idea who's behind the tree listening to you. You know,
Yeah.
like
Now,
there's no
but it
carefulness to her.
but it was slick though. She hit it really fast from a from Dina, because
Yeah,
she did not want her to know. So that's where that was a little bit telling me. She kind of gets it. Even
yeah,
somebody she's close to, she's still purposely like, hey, I cannot tell this person that I'm immune.
yeah.
you know
Yeah.
so something Joel told her stuck. I mean, I think she was being a butthole with his brother up there yelling, but I think
She was, and it was kind of
Yeah,
getting on my nerves.
that was annoying. I don't
Yeah.
I'm like, "Come on, Ellie."
And I don't know, she just annoyed me. Even before they went to the building, like they're telling them like there's no babies in there, there's no children there. Like we don't need to go in there. We need to go
right.
back. We need to call something. That could easily went left. What if it had been Dina that fell? That would
Exactly. Yep.
that would have been it.
She'd
And
have been done.
she'd have been done. And I think in a world where you can die at any moment, I feel like you need to be a little more careful. But on the flip side of that, I feel like your sense of danger
Mhm.
will probably adjust. And so where you're not where you're where you're heightened in the beginning, as time goes on, you tend to lower your guard, especially when you're immune. You get cocky.
Hmm.
And that's the case with
Yeah,
Ellie. That was definitely the case.
I
yeah,
can agree with Shayna on that because I mean, now obviously the World War Z zombies were a little bit less cognitive than
Mhm.
obviously, but I think what it is now is they're also showing that the hive mind has grown and has evolved.
yeah.
You know, and they're talking about like you step on the ground and they can like communicate that there's viable hosts here. So
Which I hate because that's not in the game and it doesn't make any sense.
I think what so here's how I would spin that. For
Mhm.
me, you have to have a little bit more. You have to be a little bit more savvy in creating a nemesis.
Mhm.
And I think what it is because these are creative choices they're making, and since
Yeah,
I mean, they're working in conjunction with the creator. But I think what it is they're trying to world build because they're trying to think. Just be realistic. They're trying to think beyond Joel.
yeah,
Mhm.
And so the way they're telling
yeah.
the story, that's part of the reason why I did get the slowness of it. But I think since people already kind of know how that piece of the story ends, they're just wondering when. Is it going to
Mhm.
be 3, 4, 5? You know, how they're going to keep stretching it out, you know,
Mhm.
or are they ready to go ahead and try to, you know, move on, you know?
Well, I feel like we're getting more episodes than we got last season. Let me check the wiki because I want to say.
I don't mm.
Let me check the episode list. No, that's I don't. I hate IMDb for this stuff because it takes forever to load. Like it just be pissing me off. Like okay,
Yeah,
so
Shayna, that's
oh, we
definitely it,
getting
Shayna.
16?
16?
16? Oh
Really?
no, never mind. That's 16 counting from one from season one.
Okay, I was like, "What?"
What? One, two,
So
three,
just
four.
8.
Yeah, just
Like,
eight.
where did they get that budget from? Hollywood is struggling.
Well, sorry, nope, seven. We getting seven.
7. Okay.
Okay.
Seven.
Oh, because it was 10 episodes. It was well, no,
Yeah,
it was 9 or 10.
Uh,
nine. It was
Versus 9.
nine.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So then if
So,
that's the case, I I have a theory, and I'm sure we'll talk about it probably next week. I got a theory about it. Then what they're
mm,
gonna do?
I feel like they're gonna split the season. Like
They
split.
better
part
The,
1,
not.
part 2,
They
maybe?
better
we don't
not.
want to force people who haven't played the game.
Well, so here's the thing, though. So the reason why I don't necessarily fear them doing that is because I mean, obviously a totally different franchise, but they didn't do it with Penguin. So I just feel like there won't be a major break in, especially then if it's only 7. So
Yeah, I feel like I don't know. I get what you're saying, but I feel like they're gonna split. I feel like the event
if
that
they
happened.
do, I'm gonna be bothered. Well, now they may decide to they may take a week off for like Easter
Well, let me
on
see.
purpose,
Let me check.
and then
When is Easter? The 20th?
coming
The
up
20,
Sunday.
something? Yeah, no, they're not taking a break. They're
Oh,
debuting.
okay, they're gonna get
They're
short.
still doing.
Mm,
Yeah.
okay.
Okay,
So, oh, one thing I want to talk about. I remember now is freaking "Make America Great Again," Joel, not being mad that about the refugees coming. Like, bro, how you think you got here? Like, you're a
Yes,
refugee too.
and it took
yeah,
a
but
black woman to remind him of that too,
but
by
Yeah.
he's so caught in his own head about the safety of what's going on. Like
Mhm.
he's Ellie is precious cargo in his mind, and the more people show up, the more opportunity for something to happen. And he knows that they have this weird divide with them, so
Mhm.
he's gonna struggle to figure out how to keep taking care of her. Now, I did think that was a player conversation that you know his I forgot the sister in law's name, but and I love her by the way. She's
Yeah.
cold blood. I like her.
She should have
everything I've
done.
seen her in.
This is neither here nor there, but she should have played Issa Rae's character in that new Black Mirror episode.
Nah.
Oh, I still need to check that out.
Yeah,
We'll talk about
yeah,
that.
we got.
But so before I forget, because I knew I was going to forget. With that conversation though, that the son had that right there is a prime example of Joel's mentality. Because what do you tell a little boy? What do he's like, hey, what do we fight? Monsters.
Yeah.
And what do we do to monsters? We shoot them. And so it was like, and the mom is just, and that's just a way of life right now.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So there was no like, you don't get him to say that, or you don't this. And I was like, wow, they're all really hardened in a way, just a certain degree, different degrees.
Yeah.
And that's what sticks out to me, because it's showing how they've adapted to life a certain way. And so
that's a really good point.
I was like, man, this kid, like this little kid is like, and I thought that was a bit of foreshadowing, if you will, the way he turned around at Joel and kind of did the
yeah.
Like,
knowing what we know.
Yeah, so that was interesting the way they did that. But yeah, the little boy, that was just just they're teaching them the way that they have to survive, right where they are right now.
Yeah, it wasn't corrected. It wasn't, it's just a different way of life. He's growing up differently than most other kids before that time. And survival is just the name of the game. Yeah. And it's like, what do you do when you see a monster? You shoot it.
That's a good point you made. Like, any mom would be like, or what I like about it too is like, they're not trying to protect them. They're letting them live in the reality of their situation, which is, because anything could happen. They could break into the town and the kid sees a gun. You need to know, like, I mean, not that he can probably knows what a gun is, but you know what I'm saying? Like, they're training him for when he gets of age. Like, there's no talking to these things. There's no trying to outrun them. You're just going to have to kill them.
Exactly. That's just the reality of it. And I'm glad they didn't do that. And most other,
I was waiting for that. Honestly,
I was waiting for it too. Yeah, they'll be like, "Don't tell him that. Don't say that."
Like, give him to me, Joel.
Right.
But she was like standing there like a G. She was stoic. She just watched and was like, I mean, it is what it is. Yeah. And that's the reality of it. So I don't know. I was intrigued by that, probably more than a lot of other components of the episode, because it felt like that was a telling thing for him to like be like that with that little kid, almost as if I've already tried to do this with Ellie. Now we're to the point where it's time to move on, because he was all over the place with the way he had to navigate each room he was in this episode.
Yeah. Oh, he was an emotional wreck. Yeah. He may not have showed it really, but you knew deep inside, like it was a mess. It was a mess.
Another thing I noticed too, that I found just little things that's funny. So Joel is MAGA and he a plug. How you like bringing weed? So you the weed man now, Joel? And then she got on him for bringing like some terrible weed.
Well, that was his payment though, for the services.
He's paying for weed.
He looked at him.
That's why he got the therapy he got.
She looked at him like, my husband used to grow stuff the size of pine cones, right? Yep. Year round. Like, bro, you can talk about the weather all you want, but year round, he was doing this for me, But by then, she was gone anyway. She was all the way 2/3 through that bottle. So
right.
But she let out some heat on him too, because she was like, no, I have to say this. And I thought that was an interesting thing, because I think that helped him kind of open up. Like I said, he kind of, Desiree, after you said that, and he kind of built those walls back up. But I think that was something he needed to hear.
Oh, yeah. No, definitely. Definitely. That's probably my favorite. I think the session alone was probably my favorite part about this episode.
Yeah, it had a little bit of comic relief to it. Just a mild hint of it, but it was still
lots of layers.
Yeah, I definitely saw that. I saw that as well.
I like watching scenes that are more than one note, but they're layered They're kind of,
Yeah.
those are the most interesting to me.
Yeah.
And his character in that moment was the most interesting.
And I love the fact that Captain O'Hara just pops up. So
I know, it's just
I
like
was
just casually pops up. Like, who next?
right.
I think you're right, Desiree. That was probably the best part of the episode. Like I said, it just was it. I feel like a premiere should hit the ground running, but what same thing what Gerald said, they kind of have to start out like this to kind of build everything up. And I think we're so used to premieres being these big grand things that we don't allow things to kind of like crescendo. And so, me as a fan of the IP, I can wait, but I feel like the casual viewer is going to be like, okay, we only saw one infected the entire time.
Yeah. I do agree with that. My only thing is I guess as from the marketing
Well,
standpoint,
technically too.
this part of it, it probably would have hit a little bit better for me had we not waited 2 years.
Right.
Okay. Yeah.
If it had come out when it was supposed to come out.
Yeah.
I think it would have hit a little bit more differently because I do like when episodes start out like that. But because we hadn't seen this in so long, it's just kind of like, okay.
Yeah.
But we also only saw a hint of Wyoming when they got there. So it wasn't as if like there was any major play on us outside of him hugging his brother, getting introduced to a couple people, and then like, oh, now who is this person again? I'm gonna need you to go back and watch. Go back and watch the first. Yeah. She yelled Kevin. She yelled Kevin for about 18 years. 19, 20, 24 years or so like that.
Oh my gosh.
Turn to the bottle after the yelling Kevin.
Oh, so I think we talked about everything else, but this last thing. So Ellie and Dina, I guess it's some sort of like party. And I for some reason, I keep calling this man Kenny. I don't know why I keep calling him Kenny, but
from
that's why I keep calling that.
You're making the connection.
Oh my God.
That's hilarious.
Oh no. Okay. Yeah, we'll talk about that off live. Oh God, I just realized something about myself. All right. Yeah. So Jesse, we'll save that because that's gonna come into play later. So I want to talk about the incident where Ellie and Dina kissed at the dance, and this raging homophobe comes out of nowhere and is like,
"This is a family function."
Yeah, and he uses a whole slur.
He dropped that one. I was like, "Whoa!"
Yeah,
I'm like, now look, I could respect the fact that he's like, "Hey, it's a family event." I agree with it. I was like, "All right, yeah, they can take that outside somewhere." Family.
No one else was making out.
Like even if you're straight, whatever, like nobody wants to see all the kissing. Fine. But when he dropped the slur, like, whoa.
Yeah.
Whoa, sir.
Too far.
Too far.
I don't know why it was delayed, T-Wade. I have no idea. I just know we had
it was COVID-19. They had some logistical issues and COVID-19 delayed it.
Okay. Yeah. But like he dropped a whole slur. And I'm like, bro. And then what gets me is like, there's dead infected people outside. Is that the most of you? That's what you're worried about?
Come on.
You got to keep he probably had his red pad in his pocket.
Right. Like, you still have time for homophobia?
Yes.
In this time?
Gotta keep
keep it up, right?
You are dying. Like, you're worried about that.
Oh my God. Dude would have.
But I like how he was slick, tried to kind of like say it under his breath a little bit. She was like, she reached around
loud enough so we could all hear it.
Super Dad Joe comes to the rescue. Like, he shoved him like he was trying to shove him into another scene.
Right. He almost broke him. I'm like, what?
Right.
I don't know.
That was that overprotectiveness because Ellie was fish grease mad at that, boy. She was like, what?
It's almost as if he doesn't know his own strength. He just acts off of impulse, like, what the guy said was bad, but
hey, Ayana.
Oh, hey.
Thanks for showing up.
Yes. Check out our giveaway.
Yeah, scroll on the bottom. Make sure you stick around. We're doing a giveaway at the end. But like that man doesn't know his own strength. He's when he's upset, and two, I feel like it's magnified because he's protecting his daughter at this point.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, definitely.
I don't know. I just that, but okay. So I also want to talk about like, do you guys feel like Ellie was justified for being mad, or is she carrying over something else from before her initial problem with Joel?
Well, I mean, so we've already had time pass, but I still think she doesn't believe him
Okay.
completely and what he said. And I think as she's growing, I think there turns into this thing where she's trying to show that she's self-reliant. You
Mm.
know, it's
Okay.
like, I'm not a little kid. I'm 19. I'm trying to figure this out, and you just keep trying to treat it like I need kid gloves. Like you gotta keep taking care of me. And he's past that. Like, that's
Yeah.
part of the reason why I think she was being as cavalier as she was about um about like going out and being mad about getting a different post and things like that. Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
she was like, "Look, I'm,
Damn.
I'm
Yeah.
good," you know.
Yeah. Yeah, at
Okay.
that age,
Well,
you don't want to be controlled.
Yeah,
19, none of us wanted to be controlled.
oh wow. Okay. So you just gave me a whole new perspective. So there's a combination of things. She's yeah, of course she feels the way she feels about Joel, but
Mhm.
she's also in that young adult stage of life where you're trying to prove yourself. I remember when I was like, I remember I was like maybe 18, 19, and like I was at work and my mom texted me and she bleached my favorite pair of jeans. And so I
Oh,
was so mad because I'm like, why are you doing my laundry? I'm
yeah,
19, you know? And
yeah,
so it, like it kind of it pissed me off. So I now that Gerald said that, I totally understand where Ellie's coming from in that moment. She didn't need his, well, she probably needs protection because she got her ass beat at the beginning of the episode, but she didn't want his protection.
hmm. Oh, definitely did not. She was very, very bothered by that.
yeah. And I think there was a bit of embarrassment too when he, interjected with the guy who, called them a slur at the church.
Hmm.
I think there was a bit of embarrassment.
Well, because she feels like she's an adult, and
Yeah, exactly.
I
Like,
do
why do
not
you
need
always
you
have
to.
to come in and, why do you feel the need to come in and rescue me,
Right.
especially in front of someone that I'm crushing on? I think
Yeah.
there was a bit of embarrassment there too, which was why she reacted the way that she reacted.
Because she was trying to protect her, and then he comes in and protects her. It's
Right.
like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
dang, bro,
like
like
exactly.
I can't slide on him because you want to slide on him, like, so.
Exactly.
I
Yeah.
feel like he could have took him. He was
Because
old.
old girl grabbed her arm when she was
Mhm.
turning around towards him. She was like,
Yeah.
"Hey, what'd you say?" And she grabbed her. She was trying to grab her arm, and right when she did that, that's when Joel stepped in and was like, "I got it. Don't worry about it. I got it."
Exactly.
Yeah, I think Ellie would have won that fight though. I don't know,
Man,
man.
Ellie fight dirty. She'd have won that fight. Dude wasn't even about it like that. Dude wasn't even
I feel
about it
like she
like that.
would have got
He
boxed.
said
I don't
that's why he
know.
said it. That's why he said it under his breath. Because if he meant it, he would have said it in
That's
his chest.
true.
He'd
Yeah.
have walked up on him because
That
he
Yeah.
is
said it's a family function. He steps away and then he says it, but he says it kind of back as he's backing out.
Yeah.
So
right.
Ellie would have been about it, man. Hey,
Like,
full
it's
punches
a
or not,
family
Ellie would have
function.
been. Yeah,
It's a family function, but then you go and use that word at a family function. Like,
facts.
Yeah.
look, always got time to be homophobic, even in a post-apocalyptic
Right,
world.
even in the
Right.
dystopian world. And what's
Crazy.
crazy is like, I don't know. I feel like too, maybe she would have won because I'm about to say Kenny again. Damn. Jesse, Jesse dedicated give her that advice at the beginning. He was like, don't let them hit you first.
Right.
Mhm.
But then okay, damn, now I'm confused because on the flip side of that, when she was like, yeah, he didn't even knock me out, and he was like, yeah, I was pulling my punches.
Mhm.
So could she really take a full force hit from a
No, 'cause
grown
that's
man?
why she was mad because he told her though. He said, "Well, if he would have hit you full force, he'd have knocked you out." But I don't think the dude that said what he said was gonna be the one. I don't think he would have. I don't think he would have wanted to fight.
Mhm.
I don't know. I think Ellie. I don't know. I feel like she would have put up a good fight, but I feel like they would have to pull that man off of Ellie eventually.
Yeah. Yeah. I also think in some small way it could be relevant or not. I think Ellie is carrying over some of that pain that she went through when she was um kidnapped with what was it in season 1 when he had to come and rescue her
Yeah.
and they gave that hug at the end. I think
Oh, yeah,
just
yeah,
that experience alone too, because that was traumatizing. That was a situation where she had no control. Um was trying to save herself, but he had to end up saving her. I don't know. I feel like there might be some sort of, I don't know, unresolved pain there as well too.
Lingering, yeah.
Yeah.
And exactly. You have to never talk about some this is a church when you're using slurs.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. Like,
He did say that.
Yeah.
Like be so for real.
Not in my Christian house of the Lord, like, and then you use a slur, like what?
It's like, how very Christian of you.
Yeah. Like it was so, but you know what? That's indicative of how that brand of individual operates on a day to day, like very hypocritical. But also, I also feel like it's also very easy to be hypocritical. Look how fast Joel fell into that hypocrisy. You know, you yourself came here as a refugee, looking for shelter, fleeing an encampment that, you know, closed down, fleeing the infected, no food, water, housing, shelter, or safety. You come into that situation and, you know, you get saved, but now here you are turning around, 5-year time jump? Yeah. And now you're turning around telling them, well, there's no room. We have to start turning people away. It's just, it was very hypocritical, but it's very easy to fall into that hypocrisy.
Hypocritical, but I'm gonna tell you why that all connects. The caulk. So if you think about it, they're running low on supplies. The more people come, the more resources they lose. What's going on at the end of the episode?
Okay.
The pipeline doesn't get sealed.
Yeah.
Because they're out of caulk.
Damn. And then the stuff comes crawling in.
Yeah.
And
so that whole conversation, it goes back to that conversation that y'all said was the best one in the show because it connects the end to where we are now.
To where,
if I'm sitting there like, wow.
Bravo.
Like, wow.
Yeah.
Bravo.
Excuse me.
And I said caulk. Relax. If I said anything, I would have said pause.
Oh my gosh.
Oh man.
It's the accent.
Correct. I have to turn the deep level of my voice off and enunciate.
And enunciate.
Add that L.
That is hilarious.
So let's see with the cock. That's funny.
Oh wow. I promise I'm not trying to get us canceled. We ain't using slurs or super duper bad words on here.
We try not to.
Yeah.
So overall, we know this was a very slow episode, but as always on the show, we are going to rate it because we've talked about pretty much everything. So we're going to start winding down here in a second. So on a scale of 1, do you guys want to do 1 to 10 or 1 to 5 for this show?
I'm open either way.
10. Let's do
10. Okay, so look, on a scale of 1 to 10, what would you give this as a premiere?
I would give it a 7.
Okay.
I liked it a little bit more. Shane already. I know what I said. I know what I said.
Repeat that.
Run that one back again.
Right. So I liked it a little bit more. I mean, regardless of the slowness, I like the connective tissue of the episode. So I'll give it a 7.7, kind of heading towards an 8.
Okay, that's fair. I'll say I would give it like a 7.5. But I think that's also my, I guess, I don't want to say prejudice, but that's my, you know what happens, and I think I'm so anxious waiting for everything to pop off. And it's hard kind of focus and just enjoy where we're at in the story for the TV series. So I'll say like 7.5.
Yeah, I think that's where a lot of people's anxiety is going to be. Yeah. Now I think it's going to be even tougher for you as the game player, because since you definitely know where it's going. For me, I know where it's going, but I also know this is TV. They're going to dangle the carrot and keep, kind of making you wait, or maybe not, but I have other theories, but that's how I see it. So for me, it's not as, it didn't bother me as much to watch it, whenever, even though it had a little bit of a slow burn to it, but I think there was enough in there sprinkled to kind of give you some different things along the way.
Yeah, that's
And
fair.
I think ending on that shot where they were, I think that to me showed kind of what's to come. You know, because I don't know if y'all saw the preview, but preview for part 2 was ridiculous.
Oh my God, could you imagine
Well, I guess they said coming up on the season, actually, but
That would be crazy, Shayna.
Take me out. I don't want to live. I wouldn't want to live.
I don't. Just push me. Just take me out now.
Can't go outside at night. Can't go out during the day. I don't want no parts of it, bro.
Yeah, no.
Hard pass.
Well, everybody's nerves will be bad.
Yeah.
Everybody's nerves will be bad.
Not like mine wouldn't be bad because I wouldn't be there. Like, take me out. We're done.
Take me out.
We're done. Take me out the game, coach. Like, we're good. I'm not playing no more.
JB, like, I need to go to the upper room right now.
That's it. Send me. I'll go.
Jeez.
Straight to glory. Straight to glory.
Take me to the king.
So we have reached the portion of our show where we're going to be doing our live giveaway. If you have been paying attention, you have about a minute to type in the code word to be entered for a chance to win a Regal, AMC, or a movie theater of your choosing's gift card. So with that being said, go ahead and type in the comment section the code word, and you will be entered for a chance to win. And while you're doing that too, also let me tell me which movie theater you guys prefer. Are you more of a AMC person, or are you a Regal person, or do you prefer to go to your local theaters? Glory, hallelujah. Glory. Oh, let's do predictions too while we're here. Well, not predictions, but what do you want to see in the next episode?
So I mean, obviously, it's kind of weird because I couldn't tell from the vantage point how far away what's that Abby and her group. I couldn't tell how far away they are. Yeah, the ones that are after Joel.
Yeah, I
can't tell how far they're away from where they're trying to get. I would actually like to see an episode with them actually traveling there now, because they're gonna have some turmoil trying to get there.
Yeah,
you know. So I want to kind of jump into that as a way for them to. So, like I said, my theory is instead of them keeping tabs on Joel, I think they need to focus somewhere else so that people will kind of not think about what happens on that other side. That way, they're trying to figure it out across the board. I think that's what I would like to see.
This may be a hot take, but I'm kind of ready, even after one episode, for Ellie and Joel to wrap this whole mad at you thing up. Yeah. I want to see them team back up again together. And I know I'm a bit impatient when it comes to that, but I'm just ready for them to kind of wrap that one up.
I mean, that's fair. I'm also over the Baldwin Hills drama too. Like, can we just move past it already?
Somehow, some way.
I don't think they're gonna do it.
Because it's just been 2 years since we've last seen the show. That's just me selfishly wanting to really get into the nitty-gritty.
I mean, that's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair. Because I'm the same way as someone who played the game. I'm like, all right now, chop chop.
Chop chop. It was beautiful. It was beautiful. Don't get me wrong. But the whole episode, which was almost an hour long, I think, I was kind of already done with that.
Well, to me, it wasn't even an hour because they did the credits and then they did that post thing where they talk about the episode. I want to say we got maybe 40 minutes.
What?
It was a little over that. It was a little over that. Yeah, because they did the credits and I think they were still under an hour when it started. It was like a 50. I think they did 6 minutes or 5 minutes of the after show thing. Yeah. Has everybody that's entered or has entered their deal, have everybody followed the rules?
Yeah, you must be following on. You must be subscribed, following on our platforms, and we will enter you in to win. So make sure you follow, because if we double check and you're not, you will have to respin the wheel next live and give your popcorn bucket and your gift card to somebody else.
Me.
All right. You guys ready? All right, I'm going to share my screen and spin the wheel. So we have T Wade, Ayana, and
Oh,
You can't
can't
click
click
the
the
link.
go in the description. You should be able to click them in the description. But if you're following. Da, 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 da. So I'm going to share my screen, and we have Ayana, T Wade, and Shayna that I saw that entered into win the gift card. So with that being said, let me share my screen, make sure no embarrassing tabs pop up, and we should be good to go. All right, can everybody see my screen?
Yes.
All right, so let's spin away. Let's see who won. Okay. Is it good one? Wait.
Oh.
Is this
That thing is still moving.
She already put yes in the comments. She knew.
Yeah, that mug creeping.
Oh my God. So I think it's safe to say Shayna won.
Yeah.
That would have to be the slowest move to get back to
Yeah,
Wade.
okay. Like, what the hell's going on here?
Wade. Wow.
And it's still moving.
Yeah, all right. Well, we're just gonna declare Shayna the winner because we don't have all night to wait here. But we will. I don't know what's going on here, so
I hear it now.
okay.
Okay, we need the one that.
It's Shayna.
Don't put that one where the name pops up.
Shayna.
There we go.
Oh, got the little music.
Congratulations, Shayna.
Congratulations.
Yeah. Okay. Well, congratulations. I said, you know where me. I didn't see that. All right. So, Shayna, make sure you give me your information, and I will get you your AMC or Regal gift card of your choosing, as well as the Lion King popcorn bucket. And congratulations. Ooh. So, thank you guys so much for tuning in. Make sure you come back same time next week. Yeah, good show, guys. I had a good time.
Same here.
All right. Don't forget to like, share. Most importantly, subscribe. Later days.